Hi, my name is Debra Berman. I direct the Frank Evans Center for Conflict Resolution at South Texas College of Law in Houston, and I've been at South Texas College of Law for about 4 years now. First, I want to tell you a little bit about how I became interested in ADR and how I became involved in it. Just prior to law school, I worked at the EEOC and I was introduced to mediation for the first time, and I fell in love with it. I knew this is why I wanted to go to law school, this is what I wanted to pursue. And when I got to law school, I immediately started an ADR program there. I started an ADR student group, a newsletter, we brought in speakers. I got my 40-hour training at a local organization. I became involved in everything. I interned at various governmental ADR agencies and really became known as the ADR person on campus. Started ADR competitions, took classes, etc. And so I knew from the start that I was going to be involved in law school, and hopefully that would help me, down the road. However, when I was in law school, I was told by a number of people, well, don't get too excited because it's really hard to get or have a career in dispute resolution immediately following law school unless you have experience litigating or some experience as a lawyer. And so I did go and work at a large law firm for 2 years, and I got that under my belt. Even though I wasn't necessarily doing any ADR work or representing clients in mediation for that matter, because it was a large law firm, I wasn't doing that, it still gave me an extra level of credibility. And I think that's very important for a lot of young mediators, is having that extra credibility. They want to see that you've done some legal work, that you know a little bit about what you're talking about. But even more than that, I think, is keeping your foot in the door by continuing to be involved and volunteer mediate. So in law school, I recommend getting your 40-hour training. If you have a mediation clinic in your law school, then doing the clinic, but also continuing to volunteer mediate at your local dispute resolution center or other organization. And then following law school, even if you're in a law firm and you're doing something different, in your spare time, volunteer mediate. You need that credibility. You need that experience. So continue to volunteer mediate. Stay involved in your law school. Maybe you can help them with their mediation trainings, classes, or mediation competitions. But network, it's so important. Go to join the young lawyer groups in your city, because those are going to be the people that, at the end of the day, that hire you. So networking is very important. Join organizations such as the ABA section of dispute resolution. Join your local, your regional organizations. For example, here in Texas, we have Texas Association of Mediators, ACR, etc. So really become involved, but stay involved mediating however you can. And I think really the big thing is not to give up. A lot of people are going to tell you that it's not possible, but it is possible. I keep hearing stories of young attorneys that are doing it. Now, granted, you may not be able to quit your day job, but it will happen. If you want it to happen, it will happen. And you may not be able to necessarily open up a mediation practice right away, but there are other ways you can become involved in dispute resolution. Whether it's working at a government agency in their ADR department or ADR section, or a nonprofit, or a community dispute resolution center, those are great first jobs to look at. I know they're very competitive, but those are the types of things that young lawyers should be looking at. And then hopefully continuing to get experience mediating, and then maybe one day opening up your own mediation practice and doing things like that. So end of the day, don't give up, because it's possible if you really want it to happen. Thank you.